Welcome to Geek Lounge 101. I am Toronto, and here today we have Nick Lenz. Please introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Nick Lenz.
And where can they find you?
Here on YouTube, my YouTube channel, Nick Lenz. You also can follow me on Twitter and Google+.
Good. And as like I was saying earlier, how has the entire ride for the manga been?
The manga has been pure fun. Edgar got me into it, and I have enjoyed it. I started reading at the same time I started reading the creator's previous famous work, Yu Yu Hakusho.
Yes, Yu Yu Hakusho. I love that so much.
Yep. I came with some interesting ideas of basically if they ever decide to sort of semi-continue it, basically like in light novel form. Like, what if Yusei, that I think that's the main character's name, right?
Yusuke, you're a mission?
Yeah. What if basically, because it's reference that he started a ramen shop in the epilogue, what if he also started a side private spirit detective business where he acts like John Constantine, investigates supernatural crimes?
That could work, but actually that really could actually work.
Especially since
I don't know
he's
how
an
far
expert
it
in
would go.
supernatural, and plus he knows how to be a detective.
I don't know if he will actually continue to go down that road.
Yeah, and plus he'll probably at some point be married to his girlfriend.
Yes. Actually, we should also do a special for Yu Yu Hakusho because that series is also amazing. It's amazing how Togashi did two amazing series.
Yep.
That people still love.
Hakusho was, I believe, made by Filmation.
I believe so. I know it's on the Funimation app or website. You can watch everything.
Who made the Dragon Ball Z series?
Yeah, Toei Animation. Yes.
Yep. Same company. Though in the case of HunterxHunter, that was made by the two series. They made like two different studios. The 2011 was made by a company called Madhouse.
Yes, Madhouse, who did. Let's see. They did High School of the Dead. They did One Punch Man. Everybody loves One Punch Man. The most famous series that really got them off the ground was both Hunter x Hunter and Parasite.
Okay.
And then there was the 1990 version where it was really different, really weird and really different. But actually, the another thing I love about Hunter x Hunter is that just the simple fact that how he threw in all the little
what to do.
And it doesn't help that Phaeton looks like Hiei.
Yeah. Oh, also, there's one character, Knuckle. I look at him. He looks like
Knuckle. Yes.
He looks like Koema from
Komaru.
Yeah, Komaru. He looks almost exactly like him, except he's got a different hair color. He doesn't have like you know how him and Yusuke basically had their hair where they kind of like partially go over the forehead.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's kind of like him. He pretty much dresses exactly like him, except his back. Except he looks like an older version of him, except he's got black hair.
Well, yeah, except that and Komaru wore a pompadour.
Yeah.
But first off,
associates shoot. He kind of reminds me of the second Mazakaki from Naruto. The way he dresses.
Not really.
Well,
actually, because
in the case of Hero, that silly color he wears.
That and his nin ability is kind of weird.
Yeah, and the way his head looks, he kind of looks like the way his head design. It looks like Shikamaru.
Yeah, that's just a famous style.
Yeah.
But anyway, first of all, what do you thought? Let's go arc by arc. What do you thought about the first part of the arc? The Hunter exams arc.
The Hunter exam I thought was really cool. Plus, it introduced many characters that we'll see later on, well, of course, the main four, which is Gon, Kula, Kurapika, and Leorio, along with Hitsuga, the chairman, who actually comes back in the Camarena arc. I'm trying to think, who else they introduced?
Alubi.
I don't remember who that one is.
Alumi's Kilo's older brother from the Zodiac family.
Oh, yeah. Oh, they introduced that girl who has, she only appeared a couple times. She appeared also in the Camarena arc. The girl who...
Yeah, the girl with the pigtails and green hair.
The one who basically is Beehive.
Oh, her. Yeah. Yes, actually, Watch Mojo put her up there as the top, as one of the saddest deaths that ever happened in anime. I said that's not sad. Actually, if anything, she died painlessly
Yeah, she got shot
in
to
the
death.
head, and that's it. No, she died. I believe she died the minute she got shot in the head.
Yeah, and then she got eaten.
Born well, they. I guess she wasn't. I guess her or her boyfriend slash fiance. I don't know what he was. He actually got the worst end of the deal.
The one who shoots arrows.
I never learned his name. In fact, I thought he was going to be more prominent because he was there in the beginning of the Hunter exams, and then he shows up later. And then he literally gets beaten by a fodder Chimera Ant soldier.
Yeah, one thing you gotta love about the Hunter exam, that arc sets up the next 3 arcs.
No, it sets up everything. It sets up the entire series.
I don't think it sets up the Chimera Ant arc.
I know it's like it all flows into each other.
Yeah, which basically it stages well. In a way, I mean, the only thing that it's kind of similar to the tuning exams is the one where they actually have the characters fight each other in a tournament.
Actually, it was also at the beginning how they all also had to take badges from each other, like how the Guinea had to steal scrolls from one another.
Yeah.
Then you had the part where they were lost in the woods and they all had to forge and fight for survival. And then there was the elimination part. It's like you could tell this is where Kishimoto got all his inspiration from.
Mm-hmm. So the one character I think was one of the most interesting characters they introduced, and he hasn't appeared in the Chimera Ant arc so far, but he's appeared in the past 3 arcs. Hitsuga.
Actually, have you read the one shot?
I have not read the one shot yet.
Actually, yes, because a guy for another series, which I extremely recommend to you, is Tokyo Ghoul. I say read the manga, do not read the anime, because the anime goes so far left field, and then the season 2 is just one huge what if story.
I'm planning on starting.
But yeah,
it's my next manga I plan on starting because my library doesn't have the first 2 books that collect the first set of chapters. So I'm gonna read the chapters online, and I'm gonna start with book 3.
Yeah, because I have all 13 volumes right now, because 14 doesn't come out till next month.
Yeah. Which have they released the books yet for the English translation of the Tokyo Ghoul sequel series?
No.
What are they waiting for the first series to finish up first?
I believe so, maybe or maybe not. I have no idea on that part. But Ishida Su actually and Togashi actually gave him his written permission that Ishida Su wrote a Hisaka one shot. And it basically just talks about how he got his nin abilities, and it vaguely talks about his past, but it doesn't flat out say where he actually came from.
Yeah, I describe him as a fun character, but he's very creepy.
He's basically, people like to associate him with the Joker, which they both do have that chaotic, neutral personality, where he basically just does whatever he wants.
That Orochimaru loves to do. You know, where he licks his lips a lot.
Something like that, but his entire motive is, and I still don't understand why, he wants to fight strong people.
Yeah, apparently he has an interest in gold for some reason. And was one...
Oh, no, he has an interest in anybody.
Yeah, there was this... I read somewhere that one of the Phantom Troop people were... I know we're going to get to it soon. He has interest in the one, basically, who's going to build...
Yeah, that's...
The one who stitches people, which, when I first saw her, I thought she was Yuri of the Demon Hair from Inuyasha.
I have to probably look that one up. Oh wait, you mean he his little sister with the because they both looked like they had the same hairstyle?
Not her. The one from the Phantom Troop.
Machi.
No, I don't remember her name. She's the one who stitched Hitsuga's arms during Heaven's Arena arc.
Yeah, that's her name, Machi.
Yeah, I mean, when I looked at her, she looked almost exactly like Yuri of the Demon Hair. And she has a similar...
Yeah, but her name...
Similar ability to her.
No.
Oh,
with the whole thread.
Yeah, it's very similar, and her appearance is very similar to that. To her. The only difference is they have different hair color, and also she's not a demon.
Well, that, and if you actually and another thing I always notice is if you look at Ging in some of some panels when he doesn't have his hat on, he looks dead. He's a dead ringer for your Meshi.
That would be something. But one thing that the manga, or I don't know if I don't think the anime ever did this. Like, I think one of the biggest questions I think a lot of people have is who is Gon's mother?
Actually,
It's not his Aunt Mio.
no. It's not as. In fact, a lot of weird things happen because it was stated. I don't think it was never stated in the anime, but it was stated in the manga that after he left, his dad died. Gene's dad died, and then and then his cousins, both of her parents, also died around the same time as well. And everybody's wondering how did that all happen.
Yeah,
That's kind of weird. But yeah, actually, we could have learned who Gon's mother was, but
I guess he
I
was.
don't know. Gon was just not interested.
I don't remember now. In the anime, they had these 2 episodes, which I don't remember these were actually in the manga, where Gon and Killua go back to the island. I don't remember that being in the manga.
No, I think that was just filler, just to fluff it out.
Yeah, but it was nice the fact that the anime actually did that because it would be also nice if his Aunt meets him and his other 2 friends.
Actually, I would like to see that, but that'll probably be way down later in the road if we ever get. First, we got to get past the Dark Continent, and we're only 2 hours in.
Yeah, it's only like I actually read the recent chapter 363.
Yeah.
What's happened?
Oh, actually, a lot happened. Actually, we learned a lot from these last 3 chapters.
Yeah,
we learned.
One thing I don't like about this arc is that there's hardly any characters I recognize at all.
See, that's the beauty of it. People talk about, oh, we need to follow Gon and Killua because they're a protagonist, but let's face it, Gon has achieved his goal. What else can we do right now?
Well, maybe he starts a new goal and he travels with Killua and Palm if he wants to.
He could do that, but he has no nin. He gave it. Some people theorize that he literally lost all his ability to use nin because after he made that when he took that vow to kill
Knuckle.
Yeah, he basically gave up all his future potential. Therefore, he lost all ability to use nin in general.
And there's no.
And it's nice. Yeah, in fact, it's nice to get. Plus, Leonardo and Kurapika needs time to shine.
Well, in the third and Phantom Troop arc, Kurapika basically gets a lot of time to shine.
Well, that's because it was both Kurapika's and the Phantom Troop arc, that is my favorite arc so far in Hunter x Hunter because it is different from most shonen and comics where the whole arc revolves around the antagonists of the series, and you actually humanized them and made them fun. And he made it fun to actually watch it and look at them.
Really odd, like that one girl with the big glasses. Her main ability is that she can summon a vacuum cleaner.
Because she's a conjurer.
Yeah, I thought it was an odd ability of a sentient vacuum cleaner.
Hang on a second, let me go look up her name. But yes, she's that's what actually one of the things they actually explained is that even though your nin category could be conjurer, emitter, manipulator, transmuter, and specialist, she has a special ability under conjurer.
Okay,
that's something rare for each group.
The one whose ability is that she can fire her revolver and basically fire people's heads and not kill them, just give them memories.
Okay,
yeah, the one who basically dresses like she's going to a business meeting, but she has no shirt.
Actually, that's the same outfit she had with Corolla when she was thinking back during the first time that the Phantom Troop was getting together.
Yeah, I saw it in the flashback.
She had that same attire on.
Yeah, same attire, but she had a shirt on. But yeah, she in presentation.
And she had a better looking face.
Yeah, what and what is up with her nose?
Yeah, actually, I was wondering because when she was younger, her nose was nothing like that. But she got older, all of a sudden her nose grew out and got a little bent.
Yeah, and I noticed that the anime and manga did change her outfit a little bit because in the manga it looked like it was one full coat that covered up her body. In the manga, it looks like a business suit, a female business suit.
Here's something else though. I was gonna say here's something else they had from the.
That's also when she died. Apparently, someone thought we got to take off her coat. Where apparently,
I thought they just buried her.
Yeah, and she's actually one of 2 Phantom Troop people who actually die in the Phantom Troop arc.
Actually, 3. Well, 4 actually.
The only people I know who died were her, the big guy, the one who cropped.
Ubogan.
Yeah,
Ubogan.
Yeah, he died. I think that's it because their boss wasn't killed. His nano ability was sealed, but he wasn't killed.
Dude, I can tell you must have sped read through this because 4 people died in the Phantom Trope. Ubogan,
Yeah.
Pakunoda, Charlanark.
Okay. I know they changed it in the anime because I remember in the manga when Kurapika got his chains, he actually stole them from one of the Phantom Troop members. In the anime, he conjured them himself.
Which ability? Because actually, Kurapika's a little weird when it comes to his ability.
You know those chains he has in his hand? One of his hands?
Yeah. You mean the index finger?
No, the one that covers like all 5 fingers.
Yeah, each finger does something different though, and I'm like, which finger you're talking about? Because each one does a separate ability.
His whole hand, which I remember in the manga he stole that ability. In the anime, he made those himself.
Oh, his chains only leaves like what? Only 2 of his fingers he can actually use on normal people. The other 3 is reserved only for the Phantom Trope.
And he has a dagger in his heart.
That's because it's only used for one. So he cannot use. That's mainly because it's Judgment Chain. Judgment Chain is used for only Phantom Trope members, and if he uses it on anybody who's not them, it will kill him.
Which I know I think I remember he does come back for the election arc in the manga. He does come back for that.
He was only shown in one panel, and that's when Leorio was trying to call him, and we just saw him in this like mafia outfit, and that's it.
Yeah, he's even by the Green Island arc, he's still a bodyguard for that girl with the fortune telling ability.
Oh no, he actually took it over.
He took it over. That's interesting. What did they do with the guy who headed up before? Kill him?
I have no idea. But if you read one of the latest volume that's actually out in English, yeah, when he joined the Zodiacs, they even said that he was the head of the Netstroke family. I think that was the name of the family.
Yeah, I think it was the Netstroke family.
Yeah, Nefertari family. He's the head of the Nefertari family.
Probably, if he took it over, he'd probably leave Neon alone. He probably wouldn't kill her at all. She has no reason she has no reason to kill her at all.
The only thing he wanted was back the Scarlet Eyes, which turns out, surprise, surprise, they were fake. So he never got those eyes back.
Yeah.
Well, I think he did get them back. He probably, and that was just off panel.
Yeah. Which I noticed that when the anime, even the manga, like he had a different attire, and then all of a sudden, like this arc, he's got a new look. I think he's like the only character who changes his look.
Actually, no. Actually, Crawlo also changed his look because he stopped wearing his hair slicked back, and he wore it from when he was up in the York New arc, when he was actually inside the Dawn's building.
I would say the 2 characters who pretty much kept the same look the whole time is Gon and Leorio.
And Kurapika, I mean not Kurapika, Killua. Killua also kept the same look.
Yeah. I mean,
which was kind of weird.
Actually changed the tires when he went to that during the Chimera arc was when he went to NGL, and he wore this like it kind of looked like a track outfit.
Yeah, that was from Finks.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Killua actually did wear a track outfit during the York New arc as well.
Yep.
But that's because they tried to sneak up on the role of the Phantom Troop, and they realized how outclassed they were.
Yeah, which when I heard the name York New City, I'm like, is that New York City, but an ultra version of it?
Yeah, it's basically New York spelled backwards.
Yeah,
well,
and
actually, is
basically when they show the HunterxHunter map, the way that the country it looks like it kind of looks like Canada.
Actually, it's supposed to represent our world, but only mixed up. Like some of the countries are all mixed up, and basically they're all different countries. They got different names, but it's supposed to basically be our world.
All the continents are shifted differently, like unlike they are in the real world.
But hey, what did you thought about when they explained the human world and how small it was?
It was
when they first showed the world map. That's crazy, right?
Yeah. Which I'm kind of wondering though, like, what it's supposed to. I think I did see on the map what it's supposed to be their version of Japan. Because I would
Oh
think,
no, I was talking about Oh, go ahead.
I would think that Toshio, I think his name is the guy who created Hunter x Hunter.
Yoshiro
Yeah,
Yoshiro Togashi.
yeah, I would think he would put in there basically a version of Japan in there.
I think he wanted the world to be exotic. It's like One Piece. He wants it to be exotic and
Yeah,
different and colorful. Like you got magical beasts running around.
yeah. And I don't know if this was the idea for the anime or basically Yoshi's idea, where during the Phantom Truth arc, where they turn New York City into a war zone because probably thinks that's how New York City. That's probably how he thinks New York City is at the time.
No, the York New. No, it was mostly just a mafia centric arc. It, just so that yeah, a lot of the crime that comes in America comes out of either Detroit or New York.
Yeah, and the way the buildings look, they look kind of similar to how they look in real life, except that if you're gonna have basically a city like New York, why can't you have the familiar landmarks? And
Well,
plus,
I think he just wanted to show that it's like our world.
The way the streets designed, it looked kind of bizarre. The way the streets were designed in the city.
I never really paid attention to the streets.
Yeah, you know how basically if you look at pictures, you look like you have bridges, you have roads that go in many different directions. It kind of looks like it kind of reminds me a little bit of how LA is. I've seen pictures of how LA have the roads at times in some areas. Mm-hmm. That's what kind of reminds me of how they have their roads.
Ah, okay. Also, what is your favorite nin type?
Out of all of them?
All six. Well, technically there's 7 categories, but the 7th, that's kind of hard.
Well, I actually like the abilities that Hitsuga has, one with his bungee gum thing.
Oh, transmuter. You like the transmuter category?
Yeah, I like that, or the Conjurer, the one where he can summon stuff.
Yes, Conjurers.
Yeah, Hansers. I have no really big opinion on Hansers.
Well, it's basically just physical work. Like the best thing I've seen out of enhancers is either Adult Gone when he was using Jokin, or Killer Pico when he used it to heal his arm.
Yeah.
So it's really, really, really tough to put these in categories. Mine is either Conjuring or Specialist.
One thing I remember reading that basically Leorio's main ability is that when he punched Dean, he basically sent him flying like really hard.
Because Leorio is an emitter.
And he had a good reason for punching Dean. Because the guy is a jerk and he wanted to go see his son who's in the hospital at that point.
Actually, he did it on purpose.
What, punching him?
Yeah, actually, if you like I say, if you read the that's what I say, you gotta really, you should slow down and reread Hunter x Hunter because there's a lot of symbolism and there's a lot of things going on in it.
How much people call out basically of how Dean is a jerk, and like, why didn't you go visit him? And he's like, why? He's like he doesn't care.
Actually, he even states that he's a bad father, but the reason why is because he likes the idea of the hunt and the adventure. Plus, I think he wanted to make Gon strong.
Which I think he kind of did. Which one thing that's kind of I'm thinking that was like, do you think Gon will ever get back his men ability?
We'll have to wait and see. Honestly, we got to get past this. We got to get past the damn boat. Then we got to get to the Dark Continent because actually, I'm excited for what's going on in the Dark Continent.
Do you know what comes to mind when I think of that?
Magi?
Africa.
Oh, yes. Actually, that's why
it's actually called the Dark Continent.
Yes, actually, that's why I kind of think he got the Dark Continent. First, I started thinking Magi, because Magi also has something called the Dark Continent and also Africa. But yeah, they actually have some, like I said, Togashi based some things off the real world.
Yeah.
And yes, I think that's what he basically based the Dark Continent off. Like everything that comes out of the Dark Continent is like something out of Africa. Because it was the last continent and nobody truly knew how big or how vast to explore. You could explore it.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the things I'm hyped to see is who is Dawn Freaks.
Wait, is that Jean's father?
No, all we know is he's an ancestor to Ging and Gon. And they said he's been around, so he might still be alive, and because he went to the Dark Continent 300 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah. In fact, hang on a second.
Okay.
Let me give you the Wikipedia, because this is going to be very, because some of this stuff is constantly just screen share. I'm just also going to just share it to you as well. But yeah, actually, Poconoto, yeah, she was a specialist. Very interesting how she can take people's memories and then she can shoot it into other people.
Yeah, which the last time she used it pretty much is when she just about died.
Yeah, well, that's because she had the judgment chain strapped to her heart, and it's in your net abilities, you will die.
Yeah.
Okay, there's the link to the Wikipedia.
It's a really interesting character. I'm glad that in the Come Out arc they brought her back. Biscuit. You know,
wait, I'm trying to remember. No. Oh, I know Biscuit. I'm trying to remember where Biscuit came. Where was she in the dark during the Chimera Ant arc?
She actually just showed. She only showed up very briefly. She showed up kind of around the beginning.
Oh yeah. If you had to rank them all, what was your favorite arcs altogether? If you had to rank them.
Out of the arcs I've seen so far, I would say probably my favorite arc is probably because they developed the fantasy so well in the arc, and it's so fun with the characters.
Yes, actually, I like York New too because it's those weird things where you actually get to see the antagonist the entire time, and our two main characters were basically side characters the whole time. They barely had little to almost no screen time. It wasn't even focused on them.
Yeah,
which made it more unique than it was, and we actually got to learn how the Phantom Troop operates. It actually shows that they're actually very caring people. They actually care for each other, though they all realize that they're basically cogs in a machine that's basically to feel whatever. Which actually, still don't understand why he created the Phantom Troop to begin with. And I would love to have a Meteor Arc City.
I think a lot of people ask, why did he massacre Kurapika's clan?
Actually, that's a lot of people are wondering. Actually, I've seen some threads and some theories that some people said that girl. You read that two chapters about Kurapika?
The one that showed where in flashback of how his
clan got massacred and everything. Yeah.
With that probably Kakashi's Kishiro's inspiration for the Chia clan.
Yeah, actually, a lot of people theorize that woman actually set up the Kurata clan, which it's only
the only difference between Sasuke and Kurapika is that Sasuke went to the main he defected to one of the main villains. Kurapika didn't do that at all.
Actually, Kurapika has way better character development than Sasuke because Sasuke was puppeted almost throughout the entire series until the very end.
Yeah. Well, until he lost his arm, Kurapika hasn't had that happen to him yet.
A lot of people say, "What's up with Togashi and always injuring people's arms for some reason? Someone's arm is always getting injured, cut off, blown off, something."
Yeah, but at least it's not like in Naruto where the fetish for that one is eye gouging.
Oh yes, because how the Uchihas could take out their eyes so freaking easily.
Yeah, and also I know that this happened once in the film The Last when Hanada's sister's eyes were removed somehow. I'm glad they didn't show it because that'd be way too graphic to show, even for a film. And they got planted in villain's eyes.
Yeah, hell, if you actually look at Hunter x Hunter, it really doesn't classify under a shonen at all.
How would you classify it?
A seinen, because seinens are basically adult-oriented manga. They could do more mature stuff.
Yeah, I know it's classified as advanced. What is Shonen Jump Advanced? On pretty much all the books. for Hunter x Hunter?
Basically, Shonen Jump is basically a battle or friend-oriented manga. I'm trying to think of a good way to word it. But mostly you have things like Naruto, One Piece, not Fairy Tail, Toriko, things that they have battles and they're always fighting, but they always have something that, kind of makes it a little mature, but at the same time, it doesn't go dark and it doesn't go into, very graphic and real world topics. Where Hunter x Hunter is the exact opposite. It is probably the darkest shonen they have so far, where it actually touches on these things. It probably doesn't bring it up. You don't see it all a lot, but you can tell if you can read between the lines. Like I said, I gotta reread Yu Yu Hakusho.
I have. It's interesting. The manga is really interesting, but here's kind of the thing: it's not as long as Hunter x Hunter at all. It's not that long. It's only in book form. It's only like 19 books, or collecting 175 chapters. I got through in 2 weeks.
Nice. Hunter x Hunter, I had to watch the anime first. Then I continued from chapter 340 and onwards.
Yeah,
my God.
Starting with Yu Hakusho, I've started this thing now where I read the manga first, then I watch the anime.
Yeah, I mostly just read the manga.
Stuff takes a lot longer to get through than the manga does.
Well, that depends on how fast a person can read it. It took me an average Hunter x Hunter chapter. If you actually sit down and thoroughly read it, it'll take you about 20 minutes or so because it's dialogue heavy. Yeah, and that's the one thing you ever notice throughout the entire series. But I do like how you have a narrator, right? It's not you don't see your opponents like in Bleach where people actually just announce their attacks and what they do. In Hunter x Hunter, you have someone just narrates their abilities, and the opponent has to figure it out for themselves.
Yeah.
Or sometimes we, the audience, has to figure it out.
I know that I've come over with a couple series that do crossovers with Hunter x Hunter. One idea I had is what if Hunter x Hunter crossed over with Yu Hakusho?
Yes. Well, that could technically work because Yu Hakusho does have a spirit world, and it does have things like demons and magical beasts. That could actually be a probability, but then again, I don't know, because Hunter
x Hunter is maybe either you could have Naruto crossover with it at some point, or maybe Bleach.
No. Well, technically, you can't have a series like Naruto and crossover because almost all the ninjas could take out hunters easily.
Yeah, but the thing is, can the ninjas take out the Chimera ants?
Yes, easily. Madara could solo the entire damn thing by himself. Like Hunter x Hunter, the highest feat they have is Miriam blowing up that I think it was just that cliff right there.
Yeah,
it wasn't even a mountain.
You think Bleach could probably? You think like Ichigo could probably massacre the whole Chimera ant army? Yes,
going Getsu Tenseiga or Final Getsu. Yeah, he basically just speed blitz everybody. Almost Hunter x Hunter. The strongest feat they have for most humans is very large buildings at best. Maybe a ship, a large freight ship, maybe. That depends on how good your nin is and how strong, much mastery you have over it. The thing is, Hunter x Hunter...
I could see crossover with it that could make some sense, especially with their power abilities, though they can easily massacre through anybody. Dragon Ball.
No, Dragon Ball was way over the top. Way over the top.
But do you think if anybody else...
I mean, it's
besides Yu Hakusho will crossover with Hunter x Hunter?
Yu Yu Hakusho, because it's made by the same person. Part 1 of Naruto, and only part 1 Naruto you can have fun with Hunter x Hunter, because Hunter x Hunter is something where you have to actually think about what you're doing before you actually battle somebody. Every nin category is very unique, is very interesting. You have to think about your own abilities, how to apply it. You need to know what your opponent is, what type of environment you're going to have your battle in. There's a lot of factors that goes into it, and plus the vows and restrictions and other conditions you have to use for your nin. It's very hex, but at the same time, it's very complicated. And Naruto, most of the time, all he does is spam his Rasengan, so it's not going to be... Yeah. There's very little to almost no planning.
Stories in my head, like what if Bleach crossed with either Yu Hakusho or Naruto, and how they could possibly have these two series crossover Bleach. Yu Hakusho, because it kind of takes place in the same type of world that Bleach does. This one can easily work because they kind of take place both in the real world, and you can have it where Ichigo and his friends are called in to investigate some hollows that are spawned in the area where Genkai's temple is, and you have Yusuke basically at the temple just hanging out, and then all of a sudden hollows attack the temple, and they're trying to figure out what the heck are these things, and then you have Ichigo just jump up the stairs and just slice a bunch of hollows. He's like, yeah.
Well, yeah, because Bleach got inspiration from Yu Yu Hakusho.
Yeah, but that's just one idea I have if they ever did one. In the case of Naruto, so that's what comic books do crossovers. You know, they use portals. They had people go other dimensions. Like, why did the Bleach characters fell through a portal with some hollows and end up with the Naruto universe?
Mm-hmm.
And you have Naruto and Hinai just walking down the hidden leaf village, and because Jutsu's kind of supernatural based, so they can easily see the hollows. And like, what the heck are these things? And you have Ichigo just coming out of nowhere and just slicing up a couple of them. And then later on, it's like after he deals with him, basically because somehow they notice like these people are here, like I don't know who they are, and Almost Blackout shows up and they're brought before Kakashi. Like, who are you and what are you doing here and how did you get here in the first place?
Well, a lot of these co-servers I can't really see happening because you got to take everything into account.
Yeah, but in the case of Bleach, a portal is the only way I can see basically if Bleach could cross over with Naruto. Just have the characters go through a portal. With Yu Hakusho, this one's pretty simple because they both take place in the real world.
Same thing we could do with Yu Hakusho and HunterxHunter. You can just say that, oh, well, technically it's weird because HunterxHunter technically takes place. The story takes place in 1997, but then when you had the 2011 reboot, they just put it in modern times.
Yeah, where they gave characters laptops. I know a majority of them have got smartphones.
Yeah, and actually, if you look at the HunterxHunter 1990s anime, or somewhere, I think it's 1996 to 1997. If you look at the anime and you see everybody using old track phones and everything, but if you look at the 2011 Madhouse edition, people are using laptops and iPhones and Androids.
Yeah, but you know it's Gon's phone? It's a Beetle phone.
Actually, they said it's a particular type of phone, and it's mostly...
Yeah, when you look at it, it's basically a Beetle.
Yeah, and Leo said it's basically for hunters for when you're doing long-distance traveling and other things.
Yeah, but
which is pretty interesting.
Have got the cell phones. Everyone else has got smartphones.
Well, that's because he's a hunter. That's the only reason why. In fact, what do you do? What do you think about the Hunters Association?
I think they're interesting, and especially since they're hunter license.
And what ways? Basically, I don't know why people want to sell their hunt because they said the hunter license can go up for 100 million Jenny or 9 million yen.
Yeah, I'm like
that in American.
What the currency is Jenny?
Like currency. It's basically supposed to be like the equivalent to the yen.
I think that's the Japanese currency, isn't
it? Basically, Jenny is the yen currency, which I'm going to see right now. How when you 90 million yen in the American dollar will probably be what?
I don't know, probably like 100, 200 million.
Oh no, I'm doing it right now, and I'm gonna go get the answer because 90 million is the for American equivalency would be. Let's. That is, I think it's what 79 million.
Yeah.
American.
Yeah.
Yeah, 79. Yeah, convert into the U.S. dollar. Yeah, that's what 70. Yeah, 79 million. That ain't bad though. They said if you sell your hunter license, it can basically you and your 7 generations of your future family can enjoy luxury.
Yeah. When I saw what the hunter license looked like, what Gones looked like, it's simply a credit card.
Actually, yeah, it's supposed to be like that. But here, and here's the things I learned is one, if they said most beginning hunters, they lose their license in about a year's time, or they pawn it off for money. We're pawn it off because one, it gets you access to 95% of all facilities. Hang on a second. Yeah, I gotta look all this up because it's very cool how they do it.
Yeah. And if you notice, out of the main four, Karapika is the only one who actually drives.
I think Leorio can too drive, but so far like I said, Leorio has not really been that much in
Karapika, because that's how the Madhouse English dub pronounces his name.
Karapika or Leorio?
Karapika. That is how they pronounce his name in the dub.
Yeah, I'm saying which one?
The one with the blonde hair. Yeah, they pronounce it as Karapika. That's how they pronounce it in the 2011 English dub.
Yeah, actually, I gotta look at the American one. I gotta look at the English dub for that.
Which, here's the weird thing about the dub: it's not finished yet at all. It only goes up to well, yesterday they aired episode 57 English dub, which I decided just because I got to the Phantom Troop arc and I had 2 episodes left. I said I'd rather not wait because I really want to get to the Chimera Ant arc, so I decided just do the last 2 episodes sub and just watch it from their sub.
Yeah, actually, yeah, because actually the Konami only comes on once a week, so it's gonna take you a good minute just to get to like episode 148.
Yeah, which right now I'm on the season, the arc that's really long, which I can understand being really long because something like the Chimera Ant stuff, basically, even the manga was long too, so I kind of get the reason why this arc is so long. It's understandable.
Well, one reason why it took so long, it took them almost 5 years to complete the Chimera Ant arc.
Yeah, because of Koshio's basically his breaks.
Hiatus. Yes, he goes on very sporadic hiatus breaks. They said 1 year I think it was 2006 or 7. They said he only published 2 chapters.
Right.
He goes on breaks. Like you said, it's very straining work.
Break for HunterxHunter. When was the first time he did it?
It's gonna be hilarious, and I got a screen share because somebody actually drew a map of Togashi's hiatus breaks.
Yeah, but I highly doubt that Dragon Quest. I know he played Dragon Quest, but Dragon Quest has only been around since like what 06, 07-ish.
Oh no! See, the only reason people talk about Dragon Quest because one time in an interview he said when he's feeling lazy or he doesn't want to really do nothing, he likes to play Dragon Quest because it's very fun and he finds it very addictive. And people thought, oh wait, so Togashi's basically taking all these hiatus because he likes to play. He wants to play Hunter. I find it to be bullshit because he really. There's no proof that he plays Dragon Quest all day. And one of the reasons why he has such poor insight, or the fans have such poor insight on him, is because he really does not talk to his fans, or he doesn't give interviews, or he doesn't give out an
I have heard
why he's taking breaks.
that he suffers from back problems.
Well, that's what we know. He said that ever since he was writing Yu Yu Hakusho, and he only got
and he cannot deal with. He suffers from stress a lot.
Yes, and they said he got back pains. He has his back very stresses out a lot. He has hands cramp up a lot, and he says that basically that he needs to take breaks from time to time.
Which I keep wondering how do these other famous manga writers deal with how do they prevent their hands from cramping up?
Oh wow, yeah, 2015. Yeah, that was the year he put out. Yeah, 2.5 years where he didn't put out a single thing.
But I'm sure he's still making money off the royalties for HunterxHunter and Yu Yu Hakusho.
No. 1, Yu Yu Hakusho. 2, HunterxHunter also sells. It sells just like One Piece. And every time a volume comes out, it's almost sold out immediately in Japan, and it makes lots of money.
Yeah, I would say you think he's still receiving royalty checks for Yu Yu Hakusho?
When is he not? Okay, here it is. I'm gonna screen share it.
Okay.
What you think of this hiatus break?
I'm not seeing anything yet.
Oh no, I gotta put it. Let me put on share and
Looks like an echo.
there it is. Do you see it?
Yeah, I see it.
Hang on, let me see if I can.
I thought the
I'll
manga.
also put it in the.
I thought the manga started in '97, not '98.
I'm not sure when it started. Hang on.
Because you said it started before Naruto did.
Yes, it started before Naruto. That much I know. You can see by this, it's a weird chart, isn't it?
Yeah, it kind of looks that way. So the blue is basically the chapters that he puts out.
Yes. Everything in red is when he did not put out a chapter. Which is pretty. And some people wonder why Shonen Jump lets him get away with this. Mostly because he came up with Yu Yu Hakusho and Hunter x Hunter. That stuff is money making, and it's a good story. The reason why I say he has such poor fan insight is because nobody actually gives out. He doesn't give out a statement or nothing. And another reason why is he has no edit. He has no assistants. Nobody helps him draw or write or nothing.
I wonder.
Not even his wife.
Which I think she's still getting money from Sailor Moon stuff.
Yes, even when they did the Sailor Moon Crystal, she got money from that.
Yeah, I don't know if she's involved. Is she involved with any of the anime of Sailor Moon?
Sailor Moon, I wouldn't know about that.
I've never seen a picture of her. Because Wikipedia does not have a picture of her at all. I would say out of all the famous manga writers, I'd say the only one I've seen a picture of is Toriyama. He's the only I've ever seen a picture of. I've also seen what Kibo looks like, the guy who created Bleach. I've seen what he looks like.
Go to Google, and then just Google their name, and they'll show you an image of them.
Okay. For Toriyama, the picture I've seen of him is in black and white, but I'm sure it's probably.
Oh no. Actually, yeah, it's right here. Let me send the link into the description. Okay. And they actually show his wife because they actually show more than one mangaka. On it, and they also show different. Back then, they used to have a row of people's faces, like different for different series. Like they have Kishimoto, Kubo, his wife, the woman who does Magi. Okay, let's get back to the topic at hand. What kind of nin type would you like to have?
The only nin type I probably would like to have is basically a convert because I like to make up stuff because I have a very wild imagination.
Hunters is kind of hard because one, you have to have a deep understanding of the object you're conjuring. Two, it's not like other nin abilities. It's visible. Once you conjure something, everybody can see it.
Yeah. But if you ever, I always have crazy imaginations like I have basically imagining myself in the world, like let's say if I'm in the world of Naruto and I'm like a super genius who basically invents stuff, like and I do stuff for the main characters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have this fantasy in my head of basically myself where I just somehow end up in the world of Naruto with these when I go to the world of Naruto and I have like the capsules from Dragon Ball, those capsules from Capsule Corp, and they have like all my stuff in it. Like what if I have like a swap bike from Star Wars, like from Return of the Jedi, where those stormtroopers rolled the swap bikes.
Mm-hmm.
I have that, a tank, which inside is basically like a TARDIS from Doctor Who, where it can carry pretty much like a whole army inside. And plus, I can also have like these tiny trackers. I can put all of the main characters, just so I can
Okay.
just so I can prepare just in case of the fourth Great Ninja War, and have these trackers also have figure out like where they are, and also have their own mini teleporters like transporters like they have in Star Trek. It's a very
Okay.
wild imagination I have if it
But
ever happened to me.
well, technically, since you want to be a conjurer, what would you like to be shaped of? What kind of bows and limitations? What kind of ability would you give it? And what would you shape it of?
Shape it. I would probably shape it like I'm not really sure, but even though I would like a thing for conjuring, but I just don't really know exactly what I would basically conjure up.
Well, that's the thing about a conjurer. Once you gotta have a like a pretty decent idea of what you're trying to do when you conjure something up. And then there's also what kind of ability would you give it? What kind of bout and limitations?
Now I have a thing for making. I have a thing for swords.
Because Izunami, when he was teaching Kurapika about this, bows and limitations. The more limitations you put on an ability, the stronger it is.
Hmm.
So that's why is Kurapika's judgment change or Emperor Time. That's why all his abilities are so strong, because the more values you put on something, the harder it is to do it. But if you can actually fulfill all the conditions, the stronger it is, and less likely your opponent can actually overcome it.
Hmm.
Which I would try to use something like shadows or something. Like use my ability to go into the shadows, or be something like Shikamaru, where I can use my shadow to actually attack other people's shadows, and it actually does damage to their physical body. You know, things like that. You have to think outside the box when it comes to nin abilities. And everything is very complex. Like, for example, once you actually get an understanding how to open your nin and use it, you have to learn things like Ten, Zetsu, which I actually like the idea of Zetsu in your aura so nobody can find you. But at the same time, once you suppress all your nin, you're actually at your most vulnerable. It's like Ing, which anybody who gets into your circle of your nin, you basically know who they are. You can actually judge what type of person they are. You can actually judge their intentions.
Mm-hmm.
It's what's really that's what I said I like about nin. It's very complex, but it's very very useful, and that's why I love it. Also, nin. The only way you can learn about your nin is basically doing the easiest way is the water trick, which is actually very unique. It's very cool how they do the water trick.
Yeah, where they use like a cup and they fill it up, and it's okay. What type of nin user you are? Like I think it's supposed to be if the water overflows, you're an enhancer.
Yes, here it is. Yes, I got it. For nin ability, what do you do if the volume of the water changes? The user is an enhancer. If the taste of the water changes, you are a transmuter. If impurities appear in the water, then you're a conjurer. If the color of the water changes, you are an emitter. If the leaf
I
moves to the
understand
water
that
surface,
if like because the Kamar ants use a similar ability test that they have nin abilities, they fill the cup and put a leaf on top. Uh, the one who's basically a cat, kind of like I don't remember her name, the female royal guard. She used it to like test her nin ability out. Basically, she's a specialist because she basically had the leaf disintegrate.
yeah, they say if a completely different change appears and a user is a specialist, because if the leaf moves at all, you're a manipulator. Which I think a lot of people in HunterxHunter, I would say, would either be a, a manipulator or probably an enhancer. I say a lot of people either be manipulator or enhancer, because a lot of people like to charge and fight you, which is something an enhancer do, because they said your personality is also like a deciding factor in your nin abilities.
I think
Because
Hitsugaya is a manipulator. No,
no, Hisoka
yeah.
Hisoka is a transmuter. And hang on a second, because they had it right here. They basically explained about your personality. Okay, Transmutation, here it is. If a student changes the taste of the water in the glass during the water divination, they are a transmuter. And an affinity for transmutation is a person can change the properties of their aura to mimic something, like Killua turning into lightning, or Ahsoka using it to make bungee gum. Similar to emission, things created by transmutation is pure aura. And it says here that
yeah, by the way, that Kula, I think it's they pronounce his name, the one with silver hair. Yeah, Killua. The way he said it, basically, how he got the electricity ability is because he was trained to endure torture, and probably one of the tortures he probably was trained to endure was electricity. That's probably the reason why he was able to learn so quickly.
Actually, it's also weird because he's supposed to be the prodigy of his father's of his current generation among his four, no, but technically five siblings, but they don't.
And I never bothered to explain what the heck is up with it with his mother's headpiece.
Oh, actually, she been had that. All we know for sure is that she was from Meteor City, and sometime during her life, she traveled from Meteor City, and she met Silva.
I get the bandages on her face. That's probably when her son stabbed her. I get that.
No, she cut herself. She did it to herself.
But Kurila, basically, he said that he did stab her.
But it's different in the manga because in the manga it says she did all that damage. She did it to herself because he went to go take the hunter exam.
Her second to last son did stab her, just like how it's also mentioned that Kula mentioned that he stabbed the brother who's very fat, stabbed him in the thigh.
Actually, Maluki is the most weirdest one in the Zodiac family because basically he's like a neat. He does carry out assassinations, but he's also the most technology wise. He's the most advanced one of his family,
and he's also the laziest one, from what I can tell, because the guy sits at his computer and eats potato chips all day.
So yeah, he's basically it's like Tagashi saying, "Oh, he's your what we Americans call a basement dweller."
Yeah.
Anime reads manga.
Of all his brothers, he's the second. He's the second brother because Kula is the
second oldest.
Yeah, he's second oldest. Kula is like kind of second to last, and you have that one who looks like a girl but it's really a boy.
You mean you also got Kiloto and then you got Oluki.
I don't know how I missed one. I remember seeing only four siblings.
No, Aluka is the one you saw during the Chairman arc. Yeah, the one you said in the manga. Well, once you get to the Chairman arc, the next Chairman arc, that's when they actually put a lot of shine on what Aluka is. And there is some theories that Aluka is actually either she came from the Dark Continent, but some people theorize that Aluka is adopted. And then there's some other people who believe that Aluka is actually being affected by a calamity from the Dark Continent. But she does the entire wish granting ability, right?
Yeah, I don't know. But in the case of Kula, I don't know what in the world he wants to do. I mean, he doesn't want to be an assassin anymore, so what does he want to do?
Technically, he didn't want to be an assassin to begin with. You could tell when he was young, he didn't really care about being an assassin, but he only did it because his father, Silva, and Illumi, and his mother made him.
Yeah. When I look at his father, he looks like a guy in his early 40s to maybe late 50s.
Silva?
Yeah. He probably looks cute.
Actually,
I mean, his grandfather, I can probably tell he's probably in his 60s or 70s, but his father looks very well fit for a man his age.
One is HunterxHunter, and two, if you know Nin, and if they say if you master how to completely close off your aura notes, you can actually keep your youthful complex all the way into your 50s.
I like this. I know
Bizarre Adventures.
The fact she's like 57, she looks like a little girl.
That's because of both her closing off her her nin nods, and plus she also has that ability, her nin ability, where she has a massage.
Yeah, and
she has some woman just come out and massages her muscles.
That she really does not like, the one where she turns to a large, muscular woman.
Yeah, she doesn't like how she actually looks. But then again, that's the progress. That's actually the progress of her training. That's the reward for training so hard and doing all this, which is why she keeps that lolly look, because that in it also throws people off.
Yeah, and so whenever she when she first met Hitsuga, she basically like getting at the fact that when she first met him, he was butt ass naked.
Oh yes, he was, and she actually I love how she always blushes when somebody calls her cute or she sees handsome man. But my God, the moment he started walking behind Gon and Killua, and he just starts looking at their butts, they both just started freaking out because they can feel it on them.
I don't get why he's sexually aroused at anything. Like he gets sexually aroused at killing.
It's like that weird or weird pedo thing going on. I don't know what's goshing that little weird pedo thing. That's what some people call it. But also, he gets an erection if he's fighting a strong opponent, and if he joins the battle, everybody likes to say he likes his schlong because he gets a hard on.
Yeah, and why is it that he likes to make appearances where he's in the mood?
I don't know. Exagashi that.
Like during the Heaven's Arena arc, I don't remember this happened in the manga. I did remember seeing this in the anime where he's talking to Gon, and it looks like he walked out of the shower and he's butt ass naked, and he's standing in front of a window butt ass naked for no reason. And he's got just a towel around his neck.
No. That's what before the York New arc started. Him and Machi were talking about the Phantom Trope was going to reunite, and then you just see him butt naked.
Yeah, and also in the Green Island arc, you also get. I can't believe the anime did this. They also did kind of what looked like they were going to show him almost full frontal nude for no reason.
Actually, I want to know how they found him in that freaking spring. Like that just seems something random, like the most random thing ever.
Well, it's the accompany thing. They basically the way it's explained is that wherever he is, basically just the books track wherever the characters are, and they say like accompany to wherever. And they pick they thought was the leader of him. Chubark basically is Hitsuga.
Yeah, but then again, they all were. But then again, Hisoka also had his own reasons for going to the Greed Island.
Yeah, just to find a menu to release.
An exorcist.
Yeah, which he found in that. I don't remember the guy's name, but it's a big, bulky black guy who dresses like he's a soldier-ish. Blue
looks like more like a priest.
Yeah, he kind of looks like a priest.
Something like what Corolla wore. Yeah, like something Corolla wore. Because they said throughout the entire...
I would have loved it if he came back after the Greed arc, but I don't remember if he did or not.
No, he does not make another appearance outside of the Greed Island. But so far, they said there's only 2 exorcists in the entire series. And one is in the Hunter Association, and another is him.
Yeah, I would have loved it if he came back because I thought he was an interesting character.
But then again, he only had one role. Oh, wait, his name was Abengun? I believe that's how you pronounce it, right?
Yeah.
She's also a nin exorcist. Yeah, because she eats whatever it is that nin track ability, and then she looks like she's pregnant. But that's just basically her just to sit out that nin until he completely leaves.
Mm-hmm.
And what is your favorite battle? Oh wait, before we get to battles, yeah, Silva is 46 years old.
Okay. I was right. He was definitely in his 40s. He looked like he was in his 40s or 50s because I've seen pictures of guys, basically like American guys, who look like in their 50s, and they do look like they're physically fit with their age. But him being 46, that makes sense.
Like I said, your aura nods.
His wife could be in her late 30s, early 40s.
Yeah, Zeno is 67 years old.
I kind of suspected that.
Oh, he's very strong and badass for his age.
He looks about the same age as the chairman, the original chairman that was shown in the series.
Actually, Netro, I believe some people think this is Netro is those father's friend, best friend, because Togashi did something weird. He retconned a person named Zig Zodiac into, and he made him a part of the family. He was an unknown relation to the Zodiac family, but then Sinetro, and there's one other woman in the Dark Continent.
Huh. How old do you think that Metro is? He could be at least, he could be like 100.
No, he's most likely probably dead because the oldest member that's alive in the Zodiac family is Maha.
No, I mean the chairman, the original chairman that was shown in the series, the old man.
Yeah, Netro.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
he was
looks like he's
friend.
probably in his 60s or 70s. He's pretty pushing 80 for the way he looks.
Let me see, because
yeah, and I noticed though at the end of the election arc that they did elect new chairman, but he resigned right away.
Because that's not how you liked it. Oh, this was what I was going to tell you earlier. Preston actually is a play on words for Paris Hilton.
Really?
The guy should say he just named Preston after Paris Hilton. So he just put the word together, and that's how he got Preston. But Preston's weird.
Yeah.
Love
Which I think a lot of people's big question is, okay, if this guy who was elected chairman resigned, who was the new chairman?
They already had the new chairman.
Yeah, the one who was elected resigned right away.
Yeah. Preston immediately resigned because the entire chairman election arc, he just wanted to raise chaos.
I wouldn't be surprised if Gon was elected chairman, but he's too young to be chairman.
Actually, Yario was the number one contender to become chairman.
Yeah, he probably should have won, but the guy's focused on his medical studies.
Well, that too, and we don't really know what he's been doing, but yeah, he could have actually became the new chairman. And I forgot her name, and I gotta go look her up. But yeah, she said she would have became his assistant if he actually won. Gaul was healed. He immediately quit.
He shows up for the Hunter exam. As far as I know, he doesn't appear in the Heavens Arena arc. He does show up in the Phantom Truth arc. He is absent for the Chimera Ant arc. He shows up in the Election arc. And so far, he has not shown up.
Big role.
Yeah. Which he's only shown up every, I think it's like 6, 7 arcs they've had so far. He's only shown up for 3 of them.
And he only showed up for like, 2 chapters now for the Dark Continent arc? Dark Continent arc.
Yeah.
Cheeto, yes, Cheeto. That's the one that's now the new head.
Yeah. Which
Zodiacs.
Yeah, the Zodiacs.
I was saying, what do you think of them?
Yeah, they're an interesting family, but what is with the oldest son and his thing with the whole King's thing?
Oh, Beyond Netro?
Yeah, I think that's his name. The one who's Kula's older brother, the one who's the first son, with the long black hair.
Oh, you mean Illumi. Illumi, basically, his ideal is, like his dad explained it. Every generation of Zodiacs, there's always going to be a prodigy that takes over the family. Like Zeno, then it's Silva. Apparently, Killua is the prodigy of the family. I don't know, it's because he has silver hair and he's a transmuter like him, his grandfather and his father. I guess that's why. If you actually look at the parallels. And basically, they're trying to groom him up to be a cold-hearted assassin so he can take over the family business. But you can see that Killua doesn't want to be an assassin, and the family tries to force it on him. Illumi is trying to manipulate and control Killua, because he says he's only trying to do it. Killua doesn't know what he wants. Only Illumi knows what is best for Killua, and he wants to make him a cold-hearted assassin.
Yeah. And I remember this happened in the manga as well, and they just shows in the anime where Kula has probably made like a blood pact in where they bit like part of their like show blood for their thumbs, and it's in like a pact where
with his dad.
With his dad, we'd never betray his friends.
Yeah, because he basically realized that he was gonna Killua was gonna leave the premises anyway just to follow Gon, because he didn't want to be there to begin with. But the only reason he came back is because Illumi forced him to come back, because if he didn't come back, Illumi was gonna kill Gon. And here's the thing, though. Gon has a lot of unnatural strength for a person his age. He easily broke Illumi's arm.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, like, it's something weird with him and his dad. Because Ging, it was never stated what his nin type was, but apparently he can copy physical punches from a person, and that's his natural ability.
Mhm.
He let Leario punch him. Beat it. It's just like one. It's like those weird things you rarely know. Yeah. But anyway, back to Maha Zoliluk. Yeah, they said him and Isaac Nitro, they fought one time. And Zeno even said that he Isaac's strength because he said that's the one probably the only person who actually got in a fight with Maha, the only enhancer in the entire Zoliluk family, and lived. So yeah, Zeno has a lot of respect for him.
Mhm.
And but right now, I'm very excited for what's going on in the Dark Continent, and it's things are getting crazy because they Kurapika had 11 bodyguards. They started off with 11 people. Now it's down to 2. Princes are starting to target one another because they all learned about what Nin beasts, and they're trying to change their preparations.
Mhm.
And what do you think? How this is going to end? How do you think this is going to go so far for Kurapika?
I think he's going to live. I highly doubt that Toshiro is going to kill him off because he's probably he's like one of the big 4 characters of the manga. So he's not going to kill him off anytime soon. I think he's going to live and he's probably kill all the other new characters. But I don't think that Kurapika is going to get killed off. I don't think he's going to get killed off at any point.
Oh no, I don't think he's going to get killed off. But I think he's finally going to let this whole desire to get back his blood clan's eyes back. Because he always wants to do things by himself. And everybody throughout the series kept telling him, you shouldn't be a loner. You can't go through this whole Sasuke route where you think you can only do some things by yourself. And I think he's going to fail protecting Wobble.
What do you think of his associates that he had during the Faithful Truth arc who worked with him as bodyguards for Neon?
Well, there's only 2 people. The 2 people he had came back to help him in the Dark Continent. I know that biker guy. Well, he looks like a biker because he does that little haku.
When you look at his beard, it kind of reminded me of the way Triple H used to have his beard, where he copied it from the lead singer of the former lead singer of Motorhead.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that he must have based it on that or something similar to that, but it just reminds me of the lead singer of Motorhead, his beard. And plus his appearance, he kind of reminds me of a young Sean Connery.
He just reminds me of some kind of biker person. I'm glad Hanzo came back because he wasn't shown since the first arc.
Yeah, there was one character I did enjoy from the Phantom Truth arc. I don't know if she's there or not. Melody, the one with the long silver hair. The one looks.
Oh yes, the one that apparently got cursed.
Yeah.
First they thought that was a man. Even I thought that was a man until you hear her voice and oh wait, that's a woman.
Yeah, and from what her desire is to get her hands on a piece of music that apparently was written by the devil himself.
Oh, okay. The thing I think is whatever cursed her came from the Dark Continent. Because because they have magical beasts that are in the human world, and they actually take you to the hunter exams. And I think she probably got a hold of some kind of artifact that came from there. Because they said that apparently the Kuratas are basically like devil worshippers or something because their eyes go red every time they're extremely emotional. Theorize that maybe the Kuratas came from the Dark Continent.
Kurapika in the first place because she just happened to walk by him in, I'm not sure what city that was. It was a rundown city where Kurapika got this was showing like kind of the beginning of the Troop arc when Kurapika got his job working for Neon.
Oh yeah, he met his trainer Izanami.
Yeah, when he finally got the job and he's walking back,
he has the eyes in his hand.
Yeah, and then Melody just happened to be showing up like, okay, and apparently she knows the rage in his heart, and then she's like, oh, I want a job too.
Well, yeah, okay, the Nostrad family. Yes, he's the head of the Nostrad family.
Yeah, well, the way Melody basically of how she got into basically asking for this job, it just came sort of out of nowhere.
Well, she's looking for something, and the best way to find out what you want, if like something like that melody, I mean, that piece of music, is to go through the underworld because Kurapika has a lot of ties to the underworld, especially since he used to be a bodyguard for a mafia family. Now he's the head of the mafia, which means he knows other people in the head of the mafia.
Yeah, but what about the former head family? Did he do it? Did he say what he did with them?
The Nostra family, I don't know. It never stated what he did to them. But apparently they said he was the head of the Nostra family.
Yeah, I wouldn't think he would kill them at all. He probably had no desire to kill them. They didn't do anything wrong by him at all.
I think he just took it over because, well, the father depended on his daughter, and Corolla has her ability, and he's not giving it back. So, predictions, he's basically went bankrupt.
Yeah, and I think the reason why he was able to take it over so easily because he's a hunter.
Well, that and he needs ties to the underworld. And what better place to get it and then take over a family that's about to go out of business?
Yeah, and plus though, I don't know how the other families work, but I remember during the Phantom Shoot, especially in anime, where they got massacred.
Oh, actually, I said, you know what? That's the one time I actually did not care if people got massacred because everybody in there was all from the mafia. They all did some atrocious things and killed people, innocent people too. So I pretty much felt nothing for none of those guys.
I was surprised when they got killed. Did you feel surprised?
No. Oh no, the worst one, what people got it the worst were the shadow beasts. The heads of the mafia, each don's bodyguard. They all attempted to attack the Phantom Troop, and they basically cut off to the Kurapika. We see them again. One dude's flying through the air. He lost his arm. Everybody else is already dead.
Yeah, which only show like 4 of them on screen. And all of a
That's
sudden,
because Bogan killed 3.
Yeah, he killed 3, but then okay,
no, 4. He killed 4 of them.
Yeah, 4. I remember he killed 4 on screen. But how in the when in the world did he get time to kill the other 6?
He didn't kill the other 6. The other Phantom Troop members, they were hunting for the guy named Owl, and while they were driving, trying to get Bogan back because Kurapika kidnapped him, Owl came up. He basically used his magic handkerchief. They managed to get Nobunaga got caught inside of it, and then that's when the other Phantom Beast came. And that's when they got killed off, and they got killed off in some brutal ways.
Yeah, but since Kurapika is the head of the mafia, he probably controls all of crime in the world.
Not all the crime. You do. I guarantee you, he only controls crime. He only controls what goes on in that certain part because he said he's a bodyguard. Actually, he has his own bodyguard company.
And yet he runs that family.
Weird, because in the manga, and I have the bottom, it's stated that he's the head of the Nostra family. I'm like, okay.
He's the family that hired him in the first place.
Well, technically, he's a hunter, and hunters, like I said, being a hunter, especially when you get a hunter license, is you get to go to 95% of all areas. Wait, hang on a second. Let me go bring it up because you get once you pass the hunter exam. Why would you sell up your card?
Good. The Heaven's Arena arc definitely was interesting. And
that's when I think the second best thing.
An arc for training, but I love the Heaven's Arena Tower. It looked like I love the fact that was even a character in the arc.
I liked it because each floor had something different. Once you get to the 200s, that's when you actually start fighting people who have nin. And honestly, people don't really like to talk about the Heaven Arena arc all that much because they think it's kind of like a boring, or they didn't really think it was all that necessary. But that's how Nin got introduced, and that's how we learned how it was.
Yep. Yeah, and plus the 2 interesting characters that were introduced during the arc I thought were interesting were Wing and his student that basically dressed the martial arts outfit.
Yeah, because Kilo kept wondering why he could not knock this dude out. He's training men, but right now his Ren was mostly what's keeping him from getting killed or passing out.
Yeah,
I mean, he was able to fight with a broken arm.
Okay, because I'm not sure how he gets paid. Does he get paid for the student? Yeah, Wing.
Oh no! See, once you become a hunter, you like I said,
is Wing a
here
hunter?
Here are other things.
I don't remember him stating.
Yeah, he is a hunter. Oh, okay. he showed up in the chairman election arc. He's a hunter. Okay. He's because in order to be a hunter, like one of the conditions to or be a professional hunter, is if a person takes the hunter exam and he passes, but he does not know Nin, they will randomly select somebody, and then that person will train you in the Nin.
Yeah, and he only showed up. I think he showed up once in Green Island, and then he showed up in Lecture Readout.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, yeah. That's because Biscuit was the one who was supposed to train Gon and Killua. But
yeah,
they,
in the end,
I think that's,
they brought up the fact that, like, I remember in the manga they did this where, okay, we already have a master. And he says, that's okay, I'm your master's master. She never said it in the sub.
well, sub and dub, it has two different translations, and they try to make it as basically as coherent as possible.
Well, the Green Island arc has not been dubbed yet. Well, at least
No, I mean actually you can get the DVDs because they're waiting because they're trying to also do the Blu-rays for the DVDs of Hunter x Hunter.
Kind of like they did with Naruto, where they release episodes a small equivalent of time.
Yes, because Naruto you could just basically milk it. Hunter x Hunter you can't because Togashi takes so many breaks, and therefore the anime can't come back because there's not enough material to make another arc. I mean, some people say, "Why don't we just create some filler?" But then again, you have to.
And the obvious question is, how long is the Dark Continent course supposed to last for?
We do not know because we haven't even gotten off to the we're only 2 hours in, and we haven't not even made it to we have not reached the edge of the known human world.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because that voyage, like chapter 359, that's when they officially left the harbor. And after everything from 360 and onwards, that's only been 2 hours in the voyage.
Okay.
So
I'm looking at Naruto, the Naruto dub, basically when they release the next set of episodes, October 10th.
Mm.
And the last one came out last month.
Okay, but like I said, Hunter x Hunter, you don't have enough material, and you see how complex the story is. You saw how Togashi gives everyone they're trying to get development. Actually, another thing I would love to see is who taught Leario Nin. What do you like? I would like to know who taught him. They sent to teach him.
Yeah, because they show everybody else who taught them then. But
and next time we see Leario, he was talking about how Tensai, and I guess somebody was teaching it to him, or he was trying to get the idea, the hang of it. But the next time we actually see him in the tournament arc, apparently he already knows how to use Nin, and already has his own technique out. He has his own Nin ability. Actually applauded because he said his ability is even more stealthier than Zetsu.
What do you think of Palm as a character?
A Yandere, a psychotic Yandere.
Yeah, but a hot one too.
Well, that before or after she got turned into an ant?
Because she looked normal. She looked like when she turned into an ant, but I do remember what she looked like when she was playing human. And boy, she was.
Yeah, they showed what she looked like. Yeah, she's very attractive when she actually takes care of herself.
Yeah, I don't get what her fetish is with knives. They never explain that.
Oh, with Nov?
No, with Palm.
No, her sensei, Nov, that's his name, Nov.
Yeah.
Actually, I feel bad for him because he felt Miriam's aura one time, and he basically said, "Screw this! I'm not gonna do this."
Yeah, and she was still refers to him as his student somehow.
Yeah, especially because Nov is a 2-star. I think he's a 2-star hunter. I know Moral's a 2-star hunter because he has two. In order to be a 2-star hunter, you have to contribute to the hunter associations. Plus, you have to have disciples, and they have to be recognized.
Yeah. How old do you think Palm is?
Give me a second. I can put it up right now.
She looks like she's probably like late teens, early 20s.
Before or after she cleans up?
After she cleans up. Yes.
I mean, she'd still be young and attractive in your 30s and 40s.
Yeah, but I have no idea how old she's supposed to be.
She had an interesting nin ability. She has to know she has to at least look at the person once, and she can use her blood to find, and she can basically know where anywhere in the known world you are. She can basically track you.
Yeah, because she's watched them before.
Which I think, yeah, that's an interesting ability, but it's basically used for spying. Hang on a second. I gotta go. I gotta actually type her name in because he had an interesting ability. Nov had an interesting ability how he could just make little rooms and he could keep somebody up in there. He can actually imprison you in one of his little rooms, or he could use it to transport people. It's a shame that he was not featured that very much. Moral got close, and the other guy Knives. I think his name was Knives. I think that's his name. They got character development, and I like how they actually bought one of the royal guards.
That she's 22.
Yeah, actually, what did you think of the royal guard in the Caramera Ant arc?
I thought they were interesting, especially like the one who's a cat. She's like very fun.
Nero Pico, Nero. Because some of these names are hard to say. Yes, Neferpito. They call her a she in the anime, but in the manga, it's genderless.
Yeah, but the way she talks in the anime, she's supposed to be a woman.
That's what the people who did the anime wanted to be. In the manga, they had no gender. Wanted to actually associate her with a female because she looks feminine.
Yep.
And who's your favorite Chimera ants?
I would say it's uh, I'd say it's Colt.
Say it again.
Colt, the one who actually is one of the most sympathetic of all of them. I actually like him.
Well, Miriam, he's kind of sympathetic. There's Colt.
Yeah, Colt is the one who basically seen a lot of all the Chimera ants.
Yeah, because he was that little boy, but then he became a Chimera ant. Actually, I like the Chimera ant because it was basically what is stronger, nature or nurture? Our idea of the whole arc. What will win out?
There's a couple of the Chimera ants who look almost exactly like humans, but they have a slight difference. Like one, I think her name was
like Shia Poof.
The one was like Zadar, I think her name is. The one who looks like she's wearing a swimsuit and has a scorpion tail.
Yeah, Zazan. Yeah, that's her.
You know? I don't know why she dresses like that. It looks so bizarre. The other one was the one who's the king of the jungle. I remember his name. The one looks like a lion.
Actually, yeah,
his associate look almost exactly human, except she has like
Leo.
Leo and his captain, his female captain, who looks like a normal woman, except she has different teeth.
Look like a normal one. Which one? Because there's a lot of these Chimera. A lot of these Chimera ants were fodder, to be honest.
Blonde and looks like she's wearing like, I don't know, like kind of like a long sleeve sundress. And when she was conceived, she was constantly seen with the guy who called himself the King of the Jungle.
Oh, you mean there's Leo, and then there's also Flutter.
I think that's her, the one who I mean, look at her; she looks almost like exactly human, with the exception of her teeth.
Yeah, Hina is because everybody says she's that girl who got shot in the head, whose name escapes me.
I have to look her up here. The one who had the beehive hat.
Mm-hmm.
I highly doubt that's her because she was never that tall.
Once you come out of Ant, you're something different altogether. Like how Kite came out.
Yeah, Kite looked very bizarre.
Yeah, he came out, he died, but then he was reborn. Actually, I think that's because of his nail ability. Some people think number 9 is what reincarnated him.
And one thing that's also weird about him is that I don't know exactly how old he's supposed to be, but he looks like he's probably in his 30s.
Here's another weird thing. HunterxHunter.
Yeah, I never seen him.
Like he was in the first chapter.
When I heard his dub voice, they haven't said who he is. He showed up like a quick cameo in episode 2. And when I heard his voice, he sounded exactly like Cam, Dr. Lemonade.
From what?
You know Dr. Lemonade. Cam, whatever his last name is. Madura, I think is the one who who did a few live shows with Tibia and I.
Oh.
Yeah.
I haven't seen all your live shows.
Yeah. He does comic reviews. I think the most one he did I think he did the first couple trades for Superman Reborn, and he also did the first volume of Trinity. And when I heard Kite's dub voice, it sounded exactly like him, but I know for a fact he's not a voice actor at all.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just that we hear his voice, because if you watch one of his videos, and then you hear Kite's voice when it sounds in the dub, it's exactly the same.
Actually, I want to know why they took Kite out of the first episode of the manga.
I have no idea.
Yeah, then he shows back up, and the first time they go to that's the first time they basically said, "Oh, that's the first time Gon ever saw him."
Yeah,
but he actually remembers him in a flashback.
I remember from the manga and the anime of the meeting between Gon and Kite. In the manga, he knew exactly who he was. He kind of referred to him.
In anime, he didn't.
Yeah, I don't know why they changed that for. Because he's like, Kite? And he first name was kind of like his brother because he's his father's student.
And I love how pissed off Gon got for him.
Yeah.
The saddest part, because Gon actually gave up everything. What would you think of a future Gon versus the King before the pre-Rose explosion?
It would probably be an interesting fight.
Because Gon was basically, even Neferpito said he was on Miriam's level. Yeah, and that's what the result of all his training would have been.
He looks like he looked like a guy in his early 30s when he's in his adult form.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, he must have gave up years and years of potential, and the aftermath was so devastating to his body that basically they could not even show you his entire body. They can only show you what his arm looked like, shriveled up.
Yeah. And the obvious question is, what's next for Gon? Because he already found his father, he's spoken to him. But the thing is, what's next?
Basically told him, take your time, be a kid. You're basically got to return to normal. Just take your time.
Yeah, and they never
fill out your paperwork.
And the one thing both the manga and anime have never done, they've never celebrated any character's birthday. No birthdays. I'm like, that's weird.
Because it's in their own, it's in the HunterxHunter language.
Yeah, but they never celebrate on, like, we look at Gon, I mean, basically, because they mentioned by the time of the Greed arc, it had been like a year since the Hunter exam. So Gon at that point probably would be 13. But I would think by now, he probably close
to he's 14.
Yeah, 14 by now.
He's either 13 or 14.
Yeah, he's probably about those, one of those two ages, because I highly doubt he's still 12.
Oh, no. They even said time passed by. I know a year already passed.
So
do the 100 exam.
Yeah, there's that. So he's 13 by the time of the Green Island arc.
And then it took then they spent like another month, maybe 2 to 3 months in Greed Island. Then they went to Chimera Ant arc, and then they trained there, and God knows how long that took.
Yeah, and so basically Palm is like 9 years older than Gon.
Pokal, that's his name, Pokal.
Yeah, and yet Palm has a thing for a 14-year-old. It's weird.
Actually, that's because he complimented her. I
And
guess she was just mistreated her life.
yeah, and plus he treated her nicely, and I remember even from the anime, basically when I got to it, basically you have Biscuit and you have Kula. Basically, it's like, man, Gon knows how to handle Palm. And I remember this from the manga as well, basically, because they brought this up. Basically, it's like Kula's like, you ask Gon, have you ever been on a date before? He says, yeah, loads of times.
Yeah.
When he showed women around the island.
Wait, hang on a second. I think that's her name. I'm trying to go back to it because I see her right here, and I gotta look for her name. It's in bold green letters. Ponzo.
The girl with the beehive hat.
Beehead.
Yeah. I kind of wish they would not kill her off because there was probably more that the writer could have done with her instead of just killing her off the way they did.
When they had a popularity poll, she was the highest voted female character.
And yet she didn't appear that much in the manga or the anime. I think in the anime she appeared for 5 episodes.
In Greed Out, she showed up in the for her exam. Then she showed up in one. And she made a cameo during the Greed Island, and then next time we see her, she gets her head shot.
Yeah,
and then she's eaten.
And she never got her license. Never did.
No, the only reason she got to that inside the certain something country is because of Pokal.
The country's called NGO. I think it's like National Green League.
NGO. Yeah, all I know is that you cannot have no technology. You can have nothing. Women cannot have any kind of. You can have no kind of metals in you. If you have any kind of metal, like
and you can't have
plates or something in your body, you can't enter.
You can't dent the fillings. I've got a filling, so I would never not go to that country.
The only way you can get past this is if you're a hunter.
Yeah, which Gon was, except he had to get different clothes.
Everything has to be naturally made from that. I say, you people do realize there's ants killing people off and they're trying to exterminate humanity, and they said that basically they live by the laws of nature. If they're meant to be killed off, that's just nature at work. I said, you do realize these things can kill off humanity, right?
Yeah, which by the time Gon gets out of the country, there's probably like, what, 2 humans left alive in the whole country because the Chimera ants massacred them all?
Oh, no, they didn't massacre all of them. They had villages all over the place. It was it's its own country. The thing is that there's that one little city they had, and they were all converted into Chimera ants, and Horaston has them. He has exactly a little over 5,000 Chimera ants. Horaston I don't know how he got his hands on them, but once that was one of the things they got from completing the Chimera ant arc is the country they got to keep whatever resources the Chimera ants had. Plus, they got to take all the incubated soldiers with them, which is a little over 5,000.
Yeah.
And Horaston,
after he gets that little baby, he's never seen again in the manga or anime. It's like he just completely disappears.
Kite?
No, Colt.
Kite basically grows up like Kite grew up real fast. I don't know how that happened.
Yeah, and
went from like an infant to a kid.
I'm sure it's bizarre for a guy like Kite to have hair as long as his was, where it went down to his freaking ankles.
Hey, this is an anime. You can be born with green or purple or red hair like that.
He's always wearing that big hat of his. It's like he never took the hat off prior to being like killed.
Nope. But hey, he was really detrimental to both Gon and Killua, because he even said that if you wanted to come to the with him to NGL, he tested them by making them each fight their own Chimera ants, and he basically was seeing how well they would have done. If they couldn't hack it, they even told them they had to leave.
Well, they had to leave when the royal guard showed up.
Yes, and that's the thing that basically set Gon off, because the moment he found out that Kite died, that's the most pissed off I ever seen Gon, because there was a point where Moral was fighting with Gon and told him to take him on, and he told Gon to come at him if though he had the intention to kill him. Gon started to walk towards Moral and him, and Moral actually was afraid because he said he realized that Gon would have actually killed him.
Yeah. Lucky enough that Kula basically stopped him in time.
Gon really was going to probably end up killing that man for real.
Yeah.
Actually, what did you think about Miriam and Komugi's relations? How their relationship came out?
I'm trying to remember. Are they the Royal Guards?
No, Miriam is was the Chimera King. He was the Ant King, and Komugi was the blind girl who was basically good at,
oh yeah, those two.
I guess, Chinese checkers.
Yeah.
Basically, what nurtured him and made him become more human.
Oh, I know the game. It's Shogi.
Shogi.
Yeah, it's the same game that Shikamaru played in Naruto.
Yeah.
It's the same exact thing.
Yeah, and apparently she actually unlocked Nin. She was a natural user for Nin, but she doesn't know it. So people just call her a genius. But that was her Nin ability, was that she was a great, I guess.
What was odd about her was her nose. You know, so like every time she's seen, she looks like she's got snot coming out of her nose, or she's got like
that actually was weird.
Yeah, I haven't got to her in the kind of Ant arc yet because, well, I'm only like, close to 20 episodes in right now. So I don't know exactly what she looks like. Biscuit, I was surprised what color her outfit was in the anime. They made her outfit pink.
No, that seems about right because she wants to play off that little "I'm a little girl" trope.
Yeah, and
I'm just a cute, innocent little girl.
Because, well, it's black and white manga. And Hitsuga, it's pretty much he wears the same exact outfit, but for some reason, like during the Heaven's Arena arc, his outfit changed colors.
That he changed a lot of things. Actually, Hisoka is probably one of the most versed people when it comes to Nin in general, especially when it comes to bungee jump. It sounds so simple and generic, but with his skill set, he made that shit become deadly.
Yeah, and he also, I have no idea why he wears those strange marks on his face, those painting marks.
Oh, that's because it's been shown. It was actually, like I say, you need to read the one shot. They explain why he has those on.
And they call him. I remember in even the anime they do this. They call him Hitsuga the Magician.
Like the killer magician. I know they said it when they first took the Hunter exams. They said basically avoid Hisoka at all costs.
Yeah, and he basically how they show he's a magician by making a hunter's one of the examiner's arms basically disappear.
Oh, it was a random dude. That wasn't he killed an examiner. I know he cut his head off, but one of the dudes, he made both of his arms. I don't know what he did to his arms.
Yeah, the examiner who he attacked basically later fought later on, and I think he killed him.
Yeah, actually, it said you could kill your examiners during that. If it's actually been agreed on for both people, the examiner, you could kill the examiner.
Yeah, the one examiner, I was like, okay, him dying makes perfect sense. The one Killua fought in that when it came to those 5 prisoners, the one who basically is rumored to have killed 200 people just with his bare hands, and Killua kills him so quickly. He kills him by removing his heart.
Actually, yeah, but then again, Killua is a trained killer.
Yeah,
and he said his father could do it without actually having no blood marks, and he could stitch your chest right back up before you even know what happened.
Yeah, and probably the weirdest prison, I'm like, okay, why in the world does this prison have basically men and female prisoners in the same prison? You remember that one prisoner that the hero fought? One who was a woman?
Yeah, actually, there was a lot of that. Actually, for what they were prison to, they gave them a lot of freaking time for some of these people. Like the girl, she was basically a con artist, and she cheated at gambling, and they gave her like what, 80 years?
Yeah, and the guy who killed like 200 people, they gave him nearly 1,000 years.
Give him a life sentence. You know he's not going to live that long.
Yeah, but in the case of the girl, man, like she did weird things. Like she made a bet, like the thing like, have Leo check see if she's a girl or not.
Oh yeah, she was just basically screwing around with Leario, and that's how. Actually, the one person people really, I've seen a lot of people didn't like was that guy who basically he could never pass the Hunter exam, so he always basically sabotages everyone else.
Oh, you mean the guy with the who brings orange soda and laces and spikes it?
He basically gives you prune juice.
Yeah, which apparently Kula basically when he drank it, he had no problem with it at all.
Well, that's because Killer was introduced to poisons and all the other things. That wasn't even affect his system.
Yeah, and look up Gon basically when he tried it, he knew right away that
He smelled it.
And I think he tasted it too.
It smelled funny.
Yeah, and
he said it smelled and tastes funny, so he threw it away.
Yeah, and it's mentioned both in the manga and the anime. He says his tongue is trained for taste like that.
Because he's a skilled hunter, but even before the hunter exam, Tampa. That's his name, Tampa.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember even he showed up during that. He did a cameo. When he saw Ku's he's like, okay, I'm staying away from him. It's like, oh crap, the assassin's back.
Yeah, he still took him out. A lot of people, some people actually want to see him die, but Tampa is more like, you know what? Why they know he comes there every year just to screw people over. So why do you keep letting him come back?
Yeah, just ban him from the exam.
Yeah, that's what I would have probably done. And then you also have the those three brothers who go there every year and they fail.
Yeah, and they got beat so easily by Kula. Yeah, they because he just did he told them like, come on out. He knows they're following him.
Yeah, he's a trained assassin. Of course he knows that he's being followed. It's not even that hard. I like the Hunter exams because then there was also that female sniper that shot at Illumi. She sniped him with an actual bullet, and it just basically bounced off of Illumi's head. I didn't realize Illumi had Nin going on right at that moment.
Yeah.
Freaking pin.
When they show women in either either manga or anime for Hunter x Hunter, they're always smoking hot women.
There's her name, Leoro.
Yeah, with the exception of Gon's grandmother, everyone is like smoking. Even his Aunt Mito is smoking hot.
Yes, which is weird. It's like, except for Cluto is weird because he's a boy, but he dresses up like a girl.
Yeah.
Identify as female, so and they think that's why. I think they said Kikyo wanted a daughter, and I guess Cluto was the unlucky one.
Yeah. Yeah,
that's,
and of course,
like weird.
His mother is paranoid.
It's basically she wants what's best for their children, but at the same time, she's overbearing and she wants to force Killua to go through go down this path in life, and he doesn't want to. Like his grandpa basically said, just do whatever you want.
Yeah, even his father didn't have a really big problem with it at all.
Well, that's because his father, they all wanted him to be the head, but his father realized that, if you keep trying to force this on him, he's just going to keep rebelling more and more. And that's what Kikyo could not understand.
Yeah, and he even told her to shut up.
In fact, it's when the chairman election arc started that you realize how deadly Aluka was. And what she did to those all 80 people, how she twisted them all up into rope. That's disgusting.
The one character I would have brought her back, but she was only in like that between part for the Hunter exam and the Heaven's Arena arc, the apprentice butler.
Canary?
Yeah. I would have thought they brought her back because I thought she was kind of interesting.
Actually, she's one of the few people that genuinely actually cares for somebody within the Zodiac family. Other people is basically, we're just basically your butlers and also your meat shield / servants.
Yeah. I think that she it's kind of like she basically has a thing for Kula. That's what's kind of a spot.
When it comes to the servants is okay. Amane, Canary, Sequant, Zebro, and Gato are the only people who actually shown real genuine emotion and actually care for their their masters. They just basically see them as servants and get fodder, just people that basically to do what they say or take a bullet for them or kill somebody when they tell them to. Which I find is very fucked up, but at the same time, he actually show actual genuine emotion to them. Yeah, and these people actually tear it up and care for them.
Do you think Kula basically is? Do you think that Canary is in love with Kula?
I mean, come on, these people are. Let's see, your bosses are basically crazy. Servant to the Zodiac family, you have to apply, and if you're going to be trained to be a servant, you have to do it on a in a compound that's on the Zodiac. You're trained underground, and they have a lot of restrictions when it becomes a servant.
Yeah,
Like you cannot have outside relationships.
I just looked up who plays Kula's mother. It's the actress who voices Rukia from Bleach.
Wow.
Yep.
The most polar opposite of people.
Yeah, and the way she plays the character, it's completely different from how she plays Rukia.
Because Kikyo is basically a psychotic, crazy woman who basically is overbearing mother, who also is very manipulative.
Yeah, and Rukia is nothing like that at all. Though she constantly likes to beat up Ichigo a lot.
But that's just like playful banter. So they don't know. You basically have to give up your life for them.
Yeah, we think Kubo got the idea of someone like Rukia basically being the main character from Naruto. With Kishimoto with Saki's being of Naruto.
They always have to be a female lead in these kind of mangas.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's not always the case when the female lead ends up with the main character.
It's okay. Bleach is something entirely different.
Yeah, but in the case of Hunter x Hunter, there is no female lead in the show. There technically is not.
Technically, there's no one main character because the series can easily revolve around anyone.
But it mainly a lot of times focuses on Gon.
But now we're getting the focus on Kura because right now there's only two people who actually had a goal: Kurapika and Gon. Gon was to find his father. Now we shifted over to Kurapika because his goal is to get the rest of his eyes back, and that's why he's going to the Dark Continent. So basically, we're following whoever still has a goal or something worth doing.
I think Leorio still has a goal too. He wants to be a doctor.
But that's okay. You can do that off screen. Really, that's something you can do off screen. The only other person who actually has a goal is Killua, and that's just to travel around and keep Aluka safe.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
But as far as Hunter x Hunter goes, I would love to be a specialist. So I have to figure out what kind of nin I can use. I mean, how I can use my nin in certain ways. People use it for all different ways, like to train dogs, insects, or to use it to make explosives, clone yourself. But nobody ever applies it to everyday life. Hunter x Hunter could really become something. But how to do that, I don't know. It has never been fully explored what all possibilities you can do with it. Soka, when he used his nin to bring himself back to life by using his rubber bungee gum to basically restart his heart and massage his lungs, that is something you just don't think about. And then there's the Zodiacs, which there's still a storyline within them that has to be resolved by the end of the series. What's going to happen between either Scylla and Illumi? One of these two are going to make a play for the head family. And I'm actually interested to see what would go from there because after the Darker Continent, I would like for us to go to Meteor City and meet this Gyro because apparently he was so hyped up during the Chimera Ant arc. Everyone kept Gyro. We got to go to Meteor City because Gyro's there. He's probably already building himself with followers and a nation. That is something I would like also to see, and what they're going to do with the rest of these freaking ants. I say send them to the Dark Continent and let them, be meat shields. I'm also want to see who Dawn Freaks is. And this whole 300 years being on the Dark Continent probably could shown. I don't know. It's just Hunter x Hunter has so much potential right now. And I'm really hyped for the Dark Continent. But right now, we got the Succession War. We got Ging and Parastin going on. We also have Yeah, we also have them. We have the Hunters Association, what's going on with them, and plus they have a traitor. Plus whatever's going to go on the Dark Continent. Plus we got Hisoka versus the Phantom Trope. There's like 7, maybe 8 plot lines right now we can go.
Yeah, I'm back.
Yeah, I'll say we have about 7 or 8 plot lines right now.
Yeah.
And that's just within itself. We have
and the only
King
major
versus Preston.
wrapped up was the thing with Gon. That's it.
That was the main thing throughout the course of the series. But now we got the Eyes, we got the Dark Continent, we got King versus Preston, we got Beyond versus the Hunter Association, plus a spy within the Zodiacs, plus we got Hisoka versus put on top of the Succession War. That's at least 7 plots right there. And we can switch to anything at any one given time. A lot so far. And I do mean a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Say this, it can go in so many ways. And after the Dark Continent, we still got the whole Zodiac plot line that still hasn't been properly wrapped up yet.
Yeah, and one thing I can see that the manga do this is maybe at some point they can have because Gold basically has already found his father.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he can have he could ask his father, just ask for his number so he keep in contact with him.
Oh no, he has his father's number. He called him. He called his father, and that's how he learned about being returned. He was talking about how he couldn't see use Nin, and right now we have to wait to see what happens after what goes on with the Dark Continent because there's just too much right now.
Yeah.
And then the repercussions to going through the Dark Continent and whether or not a calamity will come afterwards. There's just so much that can happen in such a short little time.
Jean has met pretty much 3 of Gon's friends, but I don't think he's met Palm yet.
Palm doesn't count. Palm's like somebody he just knows. But outside of the main friends, the main 4 protagonists we have, who we can switch the story to.
Yeah.
Actually, I would love for the Oreo to have a bigger goal. But right now, his only goal is to help Cheeto in the medical squad. And then you have so many things going on there within their ranks as well, because you got the defense team, the intelligence team, the linguist team. You also have the team that's supposed to be recon. And before all this happens, we're still dealing with the princess and what's going on with the Succession War. And we're only 2 hours in, and already shit's going crazy. And it turns out the king, one of the reasons that he let Beyond, he agreed to Beyond's condition to go to the Dark Continent is 1, it will make him a pioneer in the Kaiken Empire. And 2, people who are on that boat are basically offerings because he says this is what the Nin Beasts do. A Nin Beast cannot harm another person who's being protected on a Nin Beast. A Nin Beast also has to. I know that the princess cannot see their own Nin Beast, but the thing is that the king wants to see is how would who will be the next ruler? How will you take someone on without actually straight up going to them and killing them? And that's what the Nin Beast can do. The Nin Beast cannot harm another prince because they're Nin Beasts. But that doesn't 100,000 passengers are used.
During the Greed Island arc. That's the first time they were showed Nin Beast.
Right? But actually, their Nin Beast is kind of different because they're parasitic. They're parasite types. Because they use Nin without the consent of their the host.
But technically, that's the first time Nin Beast ever actually showed up. That was a different type. But technically, that's the Nin Beast's first appearance with the Greed Island arc.
Yeah, with the dude who could unsummon an ape and something else.
Yeah, it was like, I think he summoned like 2 of them.
Wait, does Nin Beast count as something everybody can see?
Apparently.
Because he was a conjurer.
Because everybody who had Nin saw those things.
But that's why I'm wondering, what about people who doesn't have Nin? Can he see those conjured up beasts? Because he is a conjurer and people can't see a conjured item.
Mm-hmm.
And but the problem with the Nin beasts are that they're parasites. They use their host Nin unknowingly. Only turns out that the first oldest, Benjamin, he actually knows how to use Nin, but he still cannot see his Nin beast. But that's where the all 200,000 passengers come up. The king said they're basically offerings. How will you kill off your others? Well, that he also said there can only be one sole survivor, and he leaves that up in interpretation for any of the princes. But they all have to figure out how to get rid of the rest of the competition without just straight up killing them. And you have to figure out how can you use all 200,000 people to your advantage. That's what he wants to see as his successor.
Yeah.
I'm saying, dude, this is really fucked up because you're basically not only you're going, people's lives are at stake because you're going to the Dark Continent, using people as fodder to see who's going to be the next king.
Are these princes all the king's sons?
They're not sons. Basically, their rules is even though you're born female, you're gonna by Kaiken law, you're still gonna be referred to as a prince because there's one. Yeah, because there's Camilla, there's Peppa, there's Tyson, Chikacho, and Fugetsu, and Momozu, and they're all female.
Is the Dark Continent supposed to be like a gigantic continent?
Hang on a second, let me pull up the map. What they're in, the known human world is basically Great Lake. Turns out, yeah, the world of Hunter x Hunter is the humans of the Dark Continent. They live inside of a Great Lake, and everything around them is the human world. That is the Dark Continent.
Huh.
Like,
interesting.
Yeah, and they said the Dark Continent is where magical beasts come from.
Planet is simply the Dark Continent.
Basically, because they said they had over 148, maybe. Well, there's also been some other trips. I think it's 148 or 149. Humanity has made that many attempts. They failed. Only 5 recorded, well, unrecorded, but they're off the books. And those 5 attempts, few survivors. Like the first time humanity won, they tried to bring back this particular type of stone. 1,000 kilowatts of electricity a day when you soak it in water. Dark Continent to try to find this stone. To get to the stone, but only it was territory. They sent in 1,000 people. I believe only 8 people came back. And I have to look it up. I have to look it up, the calamities. He went into he became real specific about it. Because each calamity is, they said the Chimera threat level was a B. Everything on the Dark Continent is B to A rank.
And you have to come out
and
that because, well, at that point it was a big threat, especially since there were so many of them, and the fact these things were killing a bunch of humans.
Hang on a second. I have the book. The book basically, the volume book. Yeah, it has one of the cover pages. It basically lists how the threats worked.
Yeah, I remember from the manga. I haven't got that far in the anime yet, but in the manga, the chairman fought the king and won. Because it made more sense for the chairman to fight the king than, let's say, Gon, because Gon is not strong enough to take on the king at all.
Only future Gon was strong enough.
Yeah, but
that was pre-Rose. He got stronger after the Rose explosion, and once the 2 royal guards gave up all their nin to give to the king, he got even stronger.
Yeah.
Okay, here it is.
By the way, in the anime, he uses his tail a lot.
Yeah.
And yeah, in the manga,
even though he's
used it a couple times, yeah, he used it frequently in the anime. I guess they're like, okay, he doesn't use it very much. Let's have him go on a killing spree because he feels like it.
I only seen him go on a killing spree once.
Yeah, when he massacres those soldiers with that power.
And that was about it. Because they showed it right here what the threat level was. And they also show what the threat level for ordinary creatures in the known human world, things like sharks, bees, bears. They are listed as C rank threats. Just things you humans just normally see throughout the human world. Pap, Pap, Hellbell, I consider A rank threats. Zombie is a disease, so I don't know what is considered. It's kind of, they say it's A, but it's not very really known. It keeps you, I guess it makes you immortal. It's called the false hope giving disease, despair zombie. That one soldier, and the thing was that he went. This was the same hunt. He was from the Hunter Association. He went there 50 years ago. I don't even know how old is Beyond. He went there 50 years ago, and that's when he got caught by the disease. Let me make sure I'm on the Wikipedia. Let me make sure I got this right, because I know he was one of the 5 people who went with Beyond, because they said Beyond took a route that was not charted, and they don't know what part of the Dark Continent they went, and they somehow came into contact with this disease, this calamity called the immortal disease zombie. Approximately 50 years. Yes, this dude was infected 50 years ago. He does not eat. Self-sustaining. Weird, right? But apparently brought up Dawn because Dawn wrote a book about the Eastern book to guiding of the Dark Continent, and he said that's how they found about herbs, the stones. It was all in this book. Centuries ago, people thought this was a made-up fairy tale, but once they found that the book was real and they actually went to these places, they found out that everything in this book is very factual. They said the risk is just too high, because every time they went to the Dark Continent, a calamity happened. And apparently, the only way they can go to the Dark Continent is they get a gatekeeper who's a magical beast. And what they'll do is they'll contact a tour guide, and they will give whoever wants to go to the Dark Continent a tour. The reason why a calamity was happened is basically because the tour guides take them throughout the dangerous routes as a warning to humans to not come back to the Dark Continent. That's a lot, right?
Yeah. And look at going on the Hunter site. He definitely is 14 by the timeline.
Okay. Here it is. Okay, here it is. Chimera ants, digression. They're B to C. They're a B rank threat because they can breed. They breed just like humans. They can breed a lot in a short amount of time. They're the type of that have to herd. You have to exterminate them quickly, or else they'll overrun you. Their threat to the bodily harm is A. So their total rank is B. A -2. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. The numbers, there's no real recorded number. Their threat to humanity is A to B. Their total score is an A rank threat. It's just weird. Okay, this book is just weird. I'm gonna have to screen share it because it shows it right here. They are weird. Togashi set it up. It's so freaking weird. Because I don't understand exactly what it's supposed A -2 supposed to mean. But yeah, as far as Dark Continent goes, those and the Twin Snake Hellbell, which is said to affect its victim with homicidal desires. Interesting. Dark Continent. You heard me?
Yeah, I heard you.
Nick?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh no, I said, what's your thoughts on Dark Continent?
It's well, from what I hear from it, it sounds really interesting.
Fine, where they keep all the calamities, but have it all listed correctly.
Yeah.
You got to go through each particular page.
Yep.
I mean, we're still only 2 hours in the boat trip so far.
Yep.
And besides that, I think we could wrap it up right here.
Yeah, I guess we can. I mean, yeah, there was a lot of talk about
Oh,
when it comes to Hunter x Hunter, but maybe so it's. I mean, Bleach, we had a lot more to talk about.
because in HunterxHunter, you actually got to go in depth. You have to look all this stuff up because it's very complex. It's very, very complex.
Yeah,
And
and
each character has so much depth to
Bleach
them.
is not that. Bleach is not as complex as this.
That's because Kubo is a very ordinary kind of writer. Like, he has depth, but Togashi put everything into depth. Like, you can make an hour-long discussion video on the protagonist alone. I saw Literario.
They have a fun fact for Go. His birthday is the same day as Leaf from One Piece.
Yeah, his birthday is the same day as Luffy's.
Yep.
So they got that going on.
Yeah, but Luffy is like about 4 or 5 years
19.
older than Go. Yeah, he's 19 now, so he's like 5 years older than Go.
Yeah. So just interesting little tidbits and everything, which I find interesting about HunterxHunter because the world is so vast and the battle system is so complicated, but yet so good. Each character, there's so much depth to each character, but it's so hard to describe it all.
Yeah.
And we're not just scratching the freaking world. We thought the human world was big. No, it turns out it's just in the middle of a great lake. It's not even an ocean. It's a great lake. So that means that there must be other civilizations out there.
It kind of reminds me of the world of Naruto, where there's more than just, well, what looks like the villages, the area they take up looks like a small area of Japan.
I never went into depth about it.
Yeah, they
Hunter Hunter
show something outside what was the second film.
And Hunter, they showed things in the human world, and they showed how vast it was. But we're just now finally realizing just how really vast and how small and minuscule humanity is.
Yeah.
As outside of those 5 undocumented trips, humanity has never made a successful journey to the Dark Continent and came back with anything of note. It also all puts up much pressure because the V5 basically said if Beyond claims something or he brings something back, the V5 guarantee you that they're going to do something to end the Hunters Association for good.
Why would they want to end it for?
Actually, I'm wondering how they. The only thing I can say for sure is humanity has weapons. We could technically. Why don't they just use satellites to try to chart out routes?
Yeah. I mean, it's never shown in Hunter x Hunter that they have the capability of space travel.
I mean, they have tactical nukes and nukes, so they should have some form of space travel.
Yeah, I haven't watched the movies yet for Hunter x Hunter, but it would be interesting if they had a point where they had the characters go to space. That would be weird and interesting at the same time.
But first, we got to get past this.
Yeah. But it's just like, well,
and God knows how long it's
the character Palm. It's like she is one of the most interesting characters I saw, and even the anime keeps her that interesting as well.
Actually, the most interesting character outside of the protagonist is Chrollo, Hisaka, because Hisaka's just wrapped in mystery, and I think that's what he's supposed to be, a mysterious person. Ging and his interest
is definitely interesting.
Actually, some people theorize Ging been to the Dark Continent before.
I'm sure he has because he's been everywhere.
Oh, because like there's somewhere during that when he went back to Whale Island, they showed Geek, and he was in some kind of island, and he was on top of two beasts. These two weird beasts.
Yeah.
And then there's Preston, who basically likes to, in his ways, he has twisted love. The more he loves something, the more he has to make it hurt, suffer. That's just weird. And plus, he also hates Geek. Like, he truly wants to see what he can do to a person that he hates.
But he has nothing.
And right now, we have.
Right? He
Yes,
has
I
nothing
think he's
against
gone. He just hates Geek because Geek and him think the same way. In fact, that's why Geek is part of Beyond's crew, is because he knows that Preston basically wants to screw over Beyond and screw up their project just out of sheer fun and chaos. We can wrap it up here. This has been Geek Lounge 101, and this has been Nick Lenz. You can do your outro.
Yeah. You can still find me here on Twitter, on YouTube. You also can follow me on Twitter and Google+.
And until then, we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.